to another episode of Artistry Unplugged, and I'm your girl, Denise Michelle. She is a trailblazing filmmaker and creative visionary with a film degree from the University of North Carolina of Greensboro. As the CEO of Go Getter Productions, she leads with passion and precision, crafting powerful stories that deeply resonate with audiences. She wrote and directed 3 feature films: Couch Party, Uneven Deception, and Bloodthirsty, showcasing her expertise in screenwriting and casting, which brings a thoughtful, intentional approach to every project. Please give a warm welcome for Miss Nachela Knox in the His House.
Yes.
Give it to her, y'all. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Nachela Knox, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been waiting for this to happen, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. Welcome.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and just dive right in, okay? When you hear the words lights, camera, action, what does that mean to you, the phrase?
I would say that phrase means to me, it's just a constant reminder of what we do on set. That's just what we do. Call for sound, call for camera, and you say action. It lets me know that we are ready. We're ready to do our job. We're ready to shoot whatever we're shooting. So it's like almost like a warm-up phrase to me at this point.
That's good. That's good. Do you have any fears? What's your biggest fear in this industry?
I don't really have a fear per se for the industry. Like, I am of a mindset of, you can't have any fear to be in this business. It's a very cutthroat business. You can't really get in your feelings. So there really is no fear. I think at this point, I am almost known for kind of jumping into the unknown. So, when there's an opportunity, that always has to overcome any fear or any doubt that I have. I truly believe that, God has given me this gift, and He's not going to allow me to fail.
Absolutely.
So I don't really have a fear per se in the industry. Now, outside of that, I don't like snakes and spiders and
right, those type of things. Me either. I don't like no snakes and no creepy crawlies.
Yeah, but nothing in the industry. Because I don't know. I believe that I will achieve all of the goals that I have for myself. So I don't have a fear in that.
And you mentioned God. Are you a spiritual person?
Yes, I do believe in God. I'm a Christian. I think over the last probably 3 or 4 years, my faith in God has really grown. It's what has given me the courage to really step out and say, this is all that I'm doing. So, yes.
It's good. Do you have a favorite scripture that you go by or anything that comes to mind?
No, I have a couple. One of my favorite ones is God is within her, she will not fail.
Ooh, now that's good. Why that particularly?
I think it's a constant reminder. Like I said, it's a very cutthroat industry. It's very hard. There's no rule book. There's nothing you can really follow that says this is how you become the next big filmmaker. Like there's nothing you can do. So to me, it's a constant reminder that as long as I keep my faith in God, that He's always within me. So I can't fail. It's a constant reminder that wherever I am on my path is not the end. So the big goals are achievable, and just keeping that is just a constant reminder, and it just helps me keep my confidence up.
How do you, as far as what you do as a filmmaker, an actress, and screenwriter, all those things in one, were your parents a big part of that for you getting to be the person that you are today? What did they do for a living? How did that all come about?
Yeah, so my mom has always been super supportive of everything that I wanted to do. Before I started writing, directing, it was acting. So when I was little, I always wanted to go be in everybody's show and run around, and she would drive me to all the auditions, and she would sit with me through all the classes and things like that. And she always encouraged that. She never told me that I couldn't do it, or she never, talked down about it. She made it seem as if I believed it. I could go and do it. So, you know, she was very, very supportive. My entire family really has been super supportive. They always come to the premieres. Even before there was premieres, they've always come to my plays and the things that I've been. And, you know, I went to school. I'm originally from the Charlotte area.
Okay.
But I went to school in Greensboro, and now, you know, I live up this way. So, but they'll make the drive. You know, they always come.
That's good to have that support system. You know. Did you what type of inspiration did you have? What made you want to did you want to get into acting first, or was it filmmaking, or how did it go?
Yeah, so I started out wanting to act. So when I was growing up, that's when That's So Raven was a big thing. So I was a huge Raven Simone fan. She was the first person that I saw that I thought represented me. You know, she was a black woman. You know, she was always on the thicker side. Like, and at that time, that didn't exist. You know, so to be able to see somebody that felt like, oh, like, this reminds me of myself. Right. It further reinforced that it was possible. Because I'm looking at somebody who looks like me do what I want to do. So she was a big influence. And then, like I said, it's just something I've always been interested in. So I've never been a sports person. I didn't play any sport. Like, to me, I don't get the whole concept of why people even really like that.
So you don't work out or nothing then, do
I do work out.
You do? Okay.
I do work out. I probably have been working out consistently for the past couple years now. But like, sports, never been a thing. So I was always into, like, you know, plays and movies and, you know, every time I remember, I grew up in church, so every time it's like Christmas or Easter, I'd be looking forward to it because I'm like, oh, that means we're getting ready to do a play.
That's right, absolutely.
So I love doing stuff like that. Even when I was in school and, you know, they had theater, I've always taken theater, took all levels of theater, so it's always been my thing.
Okay, and then in college, is that what you took? It was acting?
So I originally went to school to get my BFA in acting. But at the time, UNCG's program, you had to, like, you couldn't audition until the end of the first semester to, like, get into the program. And, you know, I didn't get in. So I did not get in my first year at UNCG. So I did have the opportunity to come back and audition. But of course, that would have prolonged my time at UNCG. And the more that I kind of learned about the program and about all the things, it just was like, it's not that important to me. Like, one of my professors said, you know, I'll never forget, she said this. You know, I asked her, I'm like, did I not give a good audition? Because that was really the first time that I had gotten rejected for something acting-wise.
Wow.
Like, I was so used to, even if I didn't get the part I went out for, I was used to getting something. So, like, I was not in belief of I wasn't good enough to be in this program. And, you know, we were talking, and she let me know that it wasn't that they didn't think I was talented. There's a lot more politics behind that. Like, she told me to my face, you know, they typecast in terms of who they want, like, student-wise. So, you know, if you're too big, or if they got enough black people, then they're not going to pick you. So she told me that if I was just to go and lose some weight and come back and re-audition, they probably would let me.
She told you that?
Yeah, she told me
that. How did you feel?
I mean, the thing is, like, working in entertainment, stuff like that is not unheard of. Right. But it definitely hits different when it's said to you. Because the flip side is, like, yes, I was definitely bigger, but I was never, like, you know, 300 pounds. Right. Like,
there's a difference.
Like, I was never that large. And I think I've always carried my weight pretty well. So it was kind of shocking, but at the same time, I appreciated her being real with me, because it was like, well, this kind of lets me know what I would be going through if I did get in this program. Because the flip side is, let's say I really did go out, lose the weight, and get in this program. Now that's a constant thing that I have to worry about maintaining. And I feel like that can lead to a whole other slew of problems. But she also said to me, she said, either you fight to join the arena or you make your own. Ooh. And when she said that, I was like, she was like, so which one are you gonna do? Because the one, you can't control whether they let you in or not. The other one is yours. And so that really kind of set on me, and I was like, you know what? because she asked me, she was like, if you don't get into this program, are you going to stop acting? And I was like, no.
Right.
And she was like, okay, then you know your answer then. And I really appreciate her for that moment, because it's something that has stuck with me through my whole journey. And it's like, I will go make my own arena. So I don't need a program. I don't need this, that, and the third to do the things that I want to do.
You want to do.
So I didn't go back out for it. I ended up switching my major to film. So.
But you still acting though. You still got that, or is that on back burner?
It's one of those things where currently, right now, like writing and directing is the main thing. I'm definitely open to, you know, roles and things like that, as long as, you know, it fits what I want to do. Because the flip side is, now that I know so much about film and things like that, I don't want to just go be in anything.
Right.
But if it is a role that interests me and it's a production that's going to be well put together, I would definitely be open to it.
So back to that story. Is that how Go Getter Productions became? Or when you went and did your own thing?
Right. So Go Getter kind of came after college. So that moment happened in college. But after college, I got to work for G. Davis Productions. I was head of film. That's here in Winston-Salem. Okay. So that was kind of like my first opportunity after college.
That's
so
cool.
Went there, was head of film. But even before that, I remember I was in church actually, and I was talking to my mama, and I was like, you know what? I think I might want to have like my own company or something, because like I like being in control. I like being able to, you know, run things the way I want to run them. And there's no way to really do that unless it's your thing.
Absolutely.
So I was kind of pondering on it, and you know, I hadn't released anything under the name. The name didn't even exist. Like at first, when I would put out my short films and stuff, they would just say Nachela Knox production. But working under him and really getting able to see what it is to run a company, and I got to have my hands in all of that, because I was the one, you know, creating budgets, hiring crew.
Yeah, you know, doing it all.
Yeah, like I got to see it from the beginning to the end. So after doing that, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go make Go Getter thing. So you know, he helped me get my LLC, and you know, he helped me put all of that together so that I could have my own. You know, so that's kind of where that started.
Is Go Getter Productions here in Winston-Salem? Cool. And what type of services you offer with that production company?
Yeah, so it's a full production company, meaning so we offer writing services, directing services, casting services, full production management. So only thing we don't executive produce projects. However, if you come to me and you say, hey, I got $10,000, I want to do a short film, I say, okay, I can manage all the things within that to make sure it gets done from beginning to end. Also have my first AD services in there as well. So it's just a full scale production service.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with you. Artistry Unplugged.
Hey, Mom.
Desiree, what are you doing? I know you seen me calling you.
Yes, I did. I was just busy. I was doing a house tour.
A house tour? Now, why do you need to show everybody where you live?
I mean, we've been through this already. You know I'm an influencer. I have to showcase my life.
Everything don't belong on the internet. Now, what if some creep finds out where you live?
Like someone just out there waiting to get me.
Welcome back to Artistry Unplugged, and I'm sitting here with Miss Nachela Knox. And we're just sitting here just chopping up a little bit, and she is a film director, screenwriter. I mean, she does it all. Actress. So we're certainly glad to have her here with us today. Let's talk about your inner circle.
Okay.
How big is it? Because you know, you're in this industry, you're,
Yeah. I would say my inner circle is actually pretty small.
Good.
Yeah. I've always, I mean, even before filming and all of that, I've always kept a small group of friends. I've never really been a big fan of just large groups. I don't know, I think I prefer more genuine connections, so I keep a pretty small circle.
That's good. That's good because you can't be too careful too. And not everybody seems to be for you a lot of times too.
Yes,
you never know.
This is true. Yeah.
Now, do you always check and see how is your reaction to, like, you get feedback from like some of the films that you do? Do you ever go and check and look, see?
I definitely read comments and things like that. One of my favorite things is actually doing premieres, because that's when you get that raw feedback, audience reactions or whatever. But I definitely read comments. I think the thing with filmmaking that at least the way I look at it, is like, you did your job as long as one person likes it. Because at the end of the day, like, you can't really control other people's opinions, but we make movies for the audience.
True.
So if I know my movie resonated with at least one person, then I did my job. Now it's different if you make a movie and it don't resonate with nobody.
Right. That's a whole different.
Yeah. Then you didn't do your job. So I mean, there's gonna be positive and negative comments. It's just kind of part of it. But I take it all in, because the other part is, especially on the negative side, is a lot of people who may say something negative, they don't know what it takes to actually make a movie.
Absolutely.
So you have to take that with a grain of salt. But I definitely do read the feedback.
That's good, because I guess you would need thick skin to do what you do. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I try not to do that.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, I wouldn't be doing this. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I remember when I first started doing this, I was like, I don't know if I want to post it. I was just all over the place. But yeah, I get what you're talking about there. How do you feel about the women as far as how they're being depicted in TV and movies?
I think it depends. I think it depends on what type of movies that you like, and what filmmakers that you like. Because in the indie world, I think you kind of see the same, stereotypes over and over again. And there's some of that in mainstream as well. But there are good examples to me of, strong women, strong black women that have been depicted in a way that you may not have seen them before. Like, one of my favorite movies is The Woman King.
I've never seen that. What's that?
Yeah, The Woman King. It came out a couple years ago, and it was about the all-woman tribes in Africa.
What? I ain't never seen that.
With Viola Davis was in it.
Oh, I never saw that. I told myself I need to see that. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, like I really like that. There was no stereotypes in that, but you got to see a lot of strong women, and they weren't just strong; they had emotions. Like, they were still women. And I think movies like that are a great example.
Yes.
And then it's a taste thing too, because some people may like movies where the characters are like that, but me personally, I like things to be unique. I like things to be real, and I like seeing women depicted in positive ways.
Absolutely.
Still realistic, but just positive.
How do you think, as far as women of color, how do you think that's going in the industry? You think that they're getting the type of roles that they deserve, or you think we're coming up with that?
I think it's getting better.
Okay.
I think it really comes down to, because it's double-sided. Yes, you gotta have writers that write those stories, but yes, you also gotta have studios and producers that are gonna push for those stories to get made. Because there could be a lot of stories like that exist, but the studio, for whatever reason, is not pushing it. But it is getting better. I think there are movies that have come out recently that depict black women in a positive way. Like, I think the comedy that just came out not too long ago, like One of Them Days. Two black women. It was nothing in there that I felt was super stereotypical or anything like that. It was a fun movie. So there are movies that come out with female black leads. So it's getting better for sure.
Okay. How do you when you're playing a character, how do you dive into that character? Where do you find, you have to dig deep inside yourself to bring it out? Where do you get that from? How do you get that?
Yeah, I think with every role, for me anyway, I try to find something relatable. You know, something that is happening to me that I can always kind of center myself with while playing that character. So of course, you know, you're not gonna relate to every single character, but I think it can be small things. Like if the character is wearing red, I love wearing red. So little things like that. Or if, you know, I may not have, like, I've never been married, but you know, I've been in relationships, so I can pull from that. Or even though I haven't been married, I might have, you know, seen someone that was married or had conversations with somebody that was married. So taking small things and just making it relatable.
Okay. And how do you prepare yourself? Do you like go on your own little island or what have you? And
just rehearse. You know, rehearse, run the lines, learn the lines. That's pretty much it.
Do you find it hard to learn the lines, rehearse?
No,
Do you like rehearsing?
I'm not a big rehearsal person. I think that's part of the reason why I like film a little more than theater, because film you don't really have those rehearsals. You might have a few reads, but you really just showing up and doing a thing. But it's just something that's been ingrained in me at this point. I've done it my whole life, so it's not really a thing for me.
And the movies that you have since thus far have written and put out there, how do you feel? What is your writing like? How do you do the storytelling? Is it like from life experiences, or is it just something that you just make up and as you go along?
I think it's a mix of both. I think every story that I write always relates to me at some point, whether it's a character or a situation in the story. Like example, like Couch Party, of course, is a made up story, but the couch itself is directly correlated to me. Like when I first moved here and I got this couch, and it was a joke, like, because people would come over and they would go to sleep on the couch. Like, they would just fall asleep. Like, everybody that ever sat on that couch is falling asleep. So we just gave it a nickname, and we was like, oh, like,
I like
it's
that.
a coma couch. So that was a joke.
Yes.
But then it was like, what if we make a story about this couch and, you know, these girls, and they take it and they flip it, and then that's how Couch Party came to be a thing. But it's like, you know, like little things like that, taking it and just expanding it. Or, you know, I love to write comedy, so you know, even just taking Couch Party for example, there's a narcolepsy joke in there. You know, like my mom is narcoleptic. So that's, you know, like little things like that. You know, most people probably won't catch that, they won't know that, but I always take moments like that and put it in my writing. But a lot of it is, like I said, it's a mix between small details of my life that I've just taken and expanded them, or you know, something that I saw or heard, or people that I've met, and just expanding it. And then some stuff is just, you know, created off of the dome, like just I need to make a story about XYZ, what can I do? So.
I love it. Who is Nachela Knox? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I mean, outside of just, you know, the things we know, filmmaker, producer, writer, director, all of that, I think I am a very creative person. I think I am a very smart person, a very witty person, loving person, caring person. And I think at the end of the day, I'm just free-spirited.
Free-spirited, I love it. Yeah. Free-spirited. Now, do you want to become famous?
It's not about being famous for me. I think the fame will come. You know, like fame is one of the things that I'm not necessarily chasing, but it is a thing of your work is going to speak for itself. You know, so if I make the next big movie, the fame comes behind it. It's not something that I was achieving for, but I am achieving to, you know, be number one on, say, you know, Netflix or whatever, to have my movies have a theatrical release. That definitely is a goal, but it's never for the fame.
All right. Well, what kind of projects or collabs are you working on right now?
Yep. So the last film we just did was a zombie movie that was Bloodthirsty. So that's in post right now. So hopefully that will come out in October. Hopefully. Still waiting for Uneven Deception to release, And then we are in works for feature number 4.
Busy.
Can't say too much about that right now, but we should be getting ready to do that in the fall. So,
all right.
One of the things I'm super proud of, and I think is kind of like a mark for myself. So, you have some directors who, you know, they mainly direct one specific genre. I've directed all genres at this point. So I've done comedy, I've done horror, I've done drama thriller, getting ready to do another kind of street crime thriller, and then, you know, talks of doing a rom-com as well. So I've directed all genres.
You're what you call round.
Yeah, I think I just have a belief in myself that, you know, I'm a director, so I can direct.
That's right. You don't have to be in a box. You don't.
Exactly.
You really don't. No. What? How was your on the zombie movie? This was different for you.
Yes, that was my first time in the horror genre. First time dealing with zombies. First time dealing with, you know, all the practical effects and the blood and all of that. So it was an experience.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your inspiration for that particular?
So it was kind of like a collaboration. So the writer-producer, Chad, you know, me and him have been talking. At first, I was just supposed to help him produce the project.
Okay.
But then it turned into me directing the project, also cast the project, and was still producing the project. So it just kind of turned into that, and that was kind of my first time in that space as well. Normally I'm the sole director. We kind of had like a co-situation going on. I was still like mainly directing, but you know, we still had to come to an agreement on some choices. So yeah, I mean, that's a good friend of mine. But yeah, that's kind of how that came about. It was his story, and you know, he doesn't want to be a director, so you know.
So, or for the clothes and that costumes and stuff, did you guys have to come up with that yourself as well, or you have someone in place to do that?
Yeah, so I always hire someone for wardrobe.
Okay.
So, you know, they kind of manage that and put together the looks, but they always kind of come to me to say, hey, is this what you're going for? Is this what you're looking for? We come to an agreement there, so.
Okay. And then with your films, if someone wants to be cast in one of your films, what do they need to do? How do they go about doing that?
Yep, so I always post casting calls, of course on sites like Actors Access, 800 Casting, Backstage, but I also post on all my social media. So my Facebook, my Instagram, you'll find those calls there as well.
Okay, all right. Okay, and you guys, we're just going to take a moment and we'll be right back with Nachela Knox, Artistry Unplugged. This is Michelle from Artistry Unplugged. And I just want to tell you that we have a studio right here in Winston-Salem called DMS Studios. And if you would like to block some time with us, come on in and do some recordings, you are certainly welcome. And I have my man here, Simon Davenport, and he's my assistant, and he's my eyes and ears, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what he's going to be doing with DMS Studios and Artistry Unplugged as well.
So I'm the eyes and ears of the production company. I'm gonna be here. You know, I shoot y'all. I come out and look for talent. I'm gonna be here for whatever y'all gonna need to get y'all started in y'all's journey on the road to success. So just all you have to do is look for me, and I'll be there for you.
And if you are interested in signing up and coming on board and being part of DMS Studios and want to block some time with us, you can call 336-986-9410. Welcome back to Artistry Unplugged, and I'm your girl Denise Michelle, sitting here with Nachela Knox, and we're just having such a good time. I'm enjoying my conversation with her, and if they want to find you, look you up and to check out some of your films, how they go about doing that, and how to reach you or your films. Look at your films.
Yes, so you can always visit the website. That's www.gogether.productions.com. That's GOGETHER productions.com. You can also find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. All the pages are at Nachela Knox. That's NACHELA Knox. Also can do it at the Go Getter pages, so everything's at Go Getter Productions. As far as films go, so Couch Party is currently streaming on Tubi. Feel free to check that out. Once Uneven Deception premieres, it should also be on Tubi as well. Bloodthirsty should be out around October. That one's kind of still up in the air, but all those updates will be posted to my social media.
Okay, great. Yay, I'm so good. That's okay. So now I'm going to ask you one particular thing that I always ask my guests when they come on the show. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had a superpower, it would be to teleport. Because I mean that would just be so great. Like you just sit here, you want to be on the beach, you can just snap and be on the beach. You know, that'd be great. Also, like I'm not a fan of long drives and things like that. I like to just get there. So if I could teleport and be where I need to be, that would be awesome. You know, I could get a lot done if I could just snap my fingers and be there. So
that's good. Would you have anything that you would like to add as far as any suggestions or anything that you would like to give someone that's trying to break into the film industry?
If anything, you know, just continue to follow your dreams. Continue to find the why. You know, I think once you find the why and what it is that you're doing, then you will continue to push to get it done. You know, you won't have any doubts or anything like that because you'll always know the why. You know, so for me, you know, when I was growing up, like I said, the only real influence I can think of is Raven-Symoné.
Yes.
But there was no way that me being in Cornelius, I was ever gonna get close to touching a Raven-Symoné.
Right.
So for me, it's always to be the role model and the thing that I didn't have, because I think for where I'm from, that's almost creating a touchable person. You know, creating a person that people can say that they had interactions with, who then went to become somebody.
Right.
So it's like that's always my push and my why. It's like I can't give up, I can't quit because I gotta do that. You know, I gotta be that person.
You gotta stay motivated.
Absolutely.
And don't let nobody mess your dreams up. Don't let nobody come in.
No. Can't do that. Nah.
Stay focused, people.
That's part of the reason why, like, normally every day I always post a quote. You know, I always post some sort of motivational quote. I have a little app, you know.
Okay.
And I like looking at stuff like that. I like affirmations. I like vision boards. All of that. I think the law of attraction is a very real thing. So I think if you do that in your everyday life, you will see it come to fruition. Like even on the 2025 vision board, when I go and I read it, it's like these things are happening. You know, so
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I highly suggest it, you know.
Yes.
And put it somewhere you can see it every day. So for me, mine is right by my door. Like, so anytime I'm walking out the door,
in and out, you see
I
it.
see it.
Yes,
you know?
Lord. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to Artistry Unplugged, and good luck to you and your success and everything. And we wish you well. And thank you guys for tuning in to Artistry Unplugged, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Who you with?